Good afternoon. My name is Brittany Dillon, and today I would like to discuss the importance and the argument of having prayer in the public schools. Many people think that there are good things and bad things to having prayer in the public school, but in my eyes, there are only good things. There are pros and cons to both sides. Many debates have been raised in Congress, and public school systems all across the country and in states as well. Each state has their own idea as to what should be seen in the public schools, but today I'd like to discuss the different reasons as to why having prayer in the public school is so important. There are many reasons, such as your faith, the history that our country was founded upon, and the freedom of religion that this country has in its constitution. First of all, faith is so important. Each person has the ability to practice their own beliefs and to base their lives around their faith that they have, and each student should be able to believe what they want to believe, that they should get to strive to the best of their ability to get to practice that, to get to show other students what their faith is and why they believe that. No student should ever have to worry that they would not have the experience to get to show or practice their beliefs. Second of all, this country was founded on the history of religion. That is why people fled from England. That is the main reason that we're here today. If so many years ago those people had not fled and had not made their way to the United States, where would we be now? And now we stand here and we're having to fight the same fight of freedom of religion, as my next point is. And that's not fair that hundreds of years later these students are still having to be concerned with the same problems that we so long ago fled from other countries from doing. And now in this country that we live in, they are having to fight to keep that in schools. These students have and know the Constitution. It is usually posted in classrooms. It is seen and read and not necessarily memorized, but at least they have an understanding of what it's like and what it means to have the freedom of religion. No student should have to question that so many hundreds of years ago in our history that we were given the freedom of religion and we fled to this country for that, and now we're still having to question and wonder if it is all right for us to pray in school. We have been given so many other things in this country through that. So many people have been given the right to get to pray in school, in the public court system, in Congress, in House of Representatives, and presidential meetings. And all of these happen every time that they open up a session, and we are not allowing our students to pray in schools or have their students pray with their teachers or pray at football games or basketball games. And yet we teach our students about the history and the importance of history and how we do not want our students to repeat history. Therefore, that's why we teach that to them. And they are being contradicted in the things that we are instilling in them, because we are not allowing them to express themselves through prayer. Now, I do understand that prayer does come with some contingencies, because so long ago they had the argument of Catholics versus Protestants, and today there are so many other religions that are out there, and they all have just as much of a right, because as in freedom of religion, we are given that right to practice whatever we want to practice. And that is why it is so important that we allow our students to practice their own beliefs. And although we can encourage them as teachers or as parents or faculty members in the schools, it is important that we stress to them that they have the right and they have the freedom to do whatever it is that they want to do, whether they're praying or they're going to Mass or whatever it is, however they express themselves in prayer. it is important that we give them the opportunity to do that, that we do not close them off to the ideas of getting to express themselves, getting to pray to their God, because God is what keeps us and what makes us who we are. And yet we are going to try to shut that out of the system, of the school system, or we're going to try to limit that, as in how we have eliminated the Bible or eliminated prayer or scriptures from many public places in our society today, and now we're letting that trickle down into the school system to our children who are so young and so impressionable, and this is the views that we're giving them. Therefore, all of this said, I can say that you can tell from my speech that prayer is very important to me. Prayer is something that I think that everyone should be entitled to due to freedom of religion, due to their faith, due to our history of this country. It is so vital that we allow our students to express themselves, because that is what we strive for in this country. That is what we pride ourselves for in this country. And yet we're not allowing our public school systems, where public is supposed to be there, have the freedom to do what they want, and yet we're not allowing them to do that. So therefore, from the articles that I've read on this, that state that there are so many different laws and there are so many different ifs, ands, or buts in the public schools as to what is right and what is wrong, and with the teachers participating in this. And it shouldn't be about that. It should be about the freedom for students to get to pray in the public schools, to get to express themselves, to get to do what our forefathers and our ancestors wanted us to have the freedom to do today. So, thank you.